Right now, I'm on the back roads of Madrid, Spain, and I'm in Polestar's newest vehicle, and this is a big deal. I'm gonna tell you why, and I'm gonna tell you how it drives too. This is the new Polestar 3, the brand's first performance SUV. This flagship all-electric 5-seater has plenty of Polestar characteristics like dual-blade headlights and gold accents inside and out, but it's looking to break the mold of what traditional SUVs look like. It has a low roof, sleek styling, retractable door handles, and incorporates bold aerodynamic elements like this front spoiler that works in conjunction with the rear spoiler to help achieve a 0.29 drag coefficient. The wide stance shows off a sporty nature, gets 8.3 inches of ground clearance, and has a 50-50 weight distribution, but the profile of this SUV, in my opinion, gives off another type of vibe. Yeah, a lot of manufacturers nowadays are throwing out crossover, SUV, CUV, but this kind of looks like a raised wagon. Let me know what you think down in the comment section. The Polestar 3 will launch with a long-range dual-motor configuration with a rear-biased all-wheel drive system and uses a 111 kilowatt-hour battery. The standard model gets 489 horsepower, 620 pound-feet of torque, can go 0 to 60 in 4.8 seconds with a top speed of 130 miles per hour, and has an EPA estimated 315 miles of range. An adaptive dual-chamber air suspension and Brembo 4-piston front brakes are standard. The Tester I'm driving has an optional performance pack which bumps up output to 517 horsepower or 380 kilowatts as you can see on the side of the door, slightly shaves off the 0 to 60 time, has a range of 279 miles, and includes 22-inch wheels. This thing is a blast to drive. It has plenty of horsepower to play around with, and the instantaneous torque on demand is addicting. It feels great, especially on these back roads, just accelerating out of an apex. Oh, it feels so good. And the brakes do a great job at bringing this to a complete stop. And if that isn't your thing, there is one pedal drive mode. And I will say it doesn't feel like a true one pedal drive mode because it does take a while to come to a complete stop. But at its maximum setting, it does give you a good braking feel. While going through these mountain roads, the Polestar 3 does a good job at hiding its weight. It feels really agile. It does a great job in the turns. It feels planted, stable, and nice and flat. I really like that. As far as the ride quality, it's buttery smooth. It feels good. It's forgiving. Not a lot of jostling motions are coming into the cabin. And if you want to change up the suspension feel and get a firmer suspension, all you got to do is go into the shortcuts and change it up to the firmest setting. The only bad thing is it's a few clicks away. I wish it was just a shortcut button or a drive mode button to throw all of those settings into its sportiest mode. That way you won't have to filter around with this screen because it can feel a bit layered. A couple items worth mentioning is the use of an electric torque vectoring dual clutch function on the rear axle, which is helpful with handling performance, and a decoupling function for the rear electric motor, which allows this SUV to conserve energy and only use the front electric motor. And if you're interested in towing, all models can tow up to 3,500 pounds. When it comes to charging, the Polestar 3 can achieve up to 250 kilowatts on a DC fast charger, getting a 10 to 80% charge in roughly 30 minutes. For people in colder atmospheres, you'll be happy to know a heat pump for the battery is standard and helps with climate and battery preconditioning. And all Polestar 3s are set up for bi-directional charging for potential vehicle to grid and plug to charge capabilities in the future. Inside, there's a 9-inch driver display, 14.5-inch portrait-style center touchscreen that utilizes Google built-in and includes wireless Apple CarPlay, and a 9.5-inch head-up display. A couple observations in the cabin. The signal stalk, don't like it. It does that weird click all the way down and then halfway when you want to cancel it. I'd rather just have a conventional, regular signal stalk. Don't like it. The windows. You have to press a button to activate the back windows. It's only 2 switches and you pretty much change between the front and the back. Don't like it. As far as using the infotainment screen, of course, the more you drive it, the more you can get used to it. But as soon as you hop in and you're trying to find all of your settings. It's kind of a dig through it because it's a few clicks to get to the menu that you need to get to, and some of the menus look the same, so that can be a bit of a distraction. One thing with the gauge cluster, when you have your maps up here, you can actually have it on your gauge cluster. It's really cool to just look down, and it's not really that much out of your line of sight. The cabin of the Polestar 3, I think, looks good. It's a nice premium looking cabin, some good materials, some soft touch points, and you could get into a really comfortable driving position as well. And besides the seats looking nice, they're very supportive. They have a lot of adjustability from the bolsters to the thigh supports. Yeah, this accommodates my 6'4" frame just fine. I don't feel any pressure points. And yeah, I could get into a really nice groove when cruising down the road. As far as rear seat space, me seated behind myself, I fit just fine with plenty of legroom and headroom. Out back, there's decent room for your cargo as well, with a workable 49.8 cubic feet of space behind the rear seats and an underfloor storage compartment. But if more space is needed, just fold down the rear seats by grabbing the shoulder button. Yes, manual labor is needed to fold down the rear seats. Inside the cabin, it's nice and quiet. This road isn't letting in a lot of noise, but on rougher roads, yeah, you do get some noise coming in because these are some pretty large wheels. As far as visibility, outward it looks good. You have a slightly elevated view of the road, and over my left shoulder it looks good, but over my right, ooh, it is a huge blind spot because of the rising belt line. But there's a lot of safety features in here. And I mean a lot of safety features. There's 5 external cameras, 5 radar modules, and 12 external ultrasonic sensors, which all work together to help keep passengers safe. This advanced driver assistance system, or ADAS technology, comes standard and includes collision avoidance and mitigation with braking and steering, which supports pedestrian and cyclist detection, run-off road mitigation, lane keep assist, blind spot warning, cross-traffic alert, rear collision warning and mitigation, 2 interior monitoring cameras which can detect a sleepy or unconscious driver, adaptive cruise control, and pilot assist, including lane change assist with expanded functions that will be available via over-the-air updates. So right now I want to test out the pilot assist feature and see how this does on this little stretch of highway. And to do that, you take the gear selector, press it down, and your pretty much cruise control is activated. And during this turn, why not? I'm just gonna let it do its thing. My eyes are forward, hands off the wheel, and it's doing a pretty decent job. Coming out of the turn, it straightens up and it's carrying along just fine. You do have to keep your eyes on the road because there are cameras in here that track your eye movement, so make sure you're looking forward. And when you need to put your hand on the wheel, it'll let you know, just like right now, and we're still cruising. Pretty good. Pricing for a Polestar 3 will begin at $74,800, including destination for a standard long-range dual-motor model. Standard equipment includes full LED lighting inside and out, 20-inch wheels, 3-zone climate control, and a full-length panoramic glass roof. Standalone features and packages are also available for aesthetics or added safety tech, and if you're looking for more power, a Polestar 3 with the performance pack starts at $80,800. If you're interested in a Polestar 3 or the 2 or maybe even any other EV on the market, go on kbb.com and get a fair purchase price. kbb.com, click the link above for more details. Polestar is looking to go up against other premium luxury EV SUVs, including the BMW iX, Audi Q8 e-tron, Mercedes-Benz EQE SUV, and of course the Tesla Model Y. The Polestar 3 is already on sale and will be produced on 2 continents. Production has already started in China, with customer deliveries expected at the end of June, and additional manufacturing will start at the Volvo facility in Ridgeville, South Carolina sometime in the middle of 2024. There's also an expected long-range single-motor rear-wheel drive variant that should be announced sometime later this year. This Polestar 3 is a big deal for the brand because it's their first SUV, but it brings a lot of character to their lineup, and it has loads of tech performance to back it up, and you can haul all of your stuff. And I think it's great. And I can't wait to get this back to the States and try it on some good old California roads. And if you can't wait either, make sure you're subscribed to the Kelley Blue Book YouTube channel for the latest and greatest. Now, back to driving on this road with these crazy drivers. Get out the way. You know what else is great? Going around turnarounds like that and seeing your driving partner kind of clutch up a little bit, because it was kind of funny. People out here drive crazy.